Fred VanVleet's lethal pull-up jumper, Chris Boucher's extremely improved three-point shot, and the Raptors returning to that swarming D that swarms like a bag of bees. All that and more on today's Know Your Enemy. Get ready, Nick Cage.
Not the bees!
Howdy, basketball fans. Welcome to Know Your Enemy, where we take a look at the Miami Heat's opponent and tell you everything you need to know about them. Tonight's opponent, we're taking a look at the Tampa Bay Devil Raptors, aka the Toronto Raptors. They may have started off slow, but recently they've been on quite a roll, even without Kyle Lowry, going 6-0 without their All-Star. Let's take a look. The Raptors' recent run has been helped a lot by their return to that swarming defense they're so known for. They move around on a string, and they don't allow any breathing room to any opponent and their best players. But it's been their offense which has been the major component to their recent surge. They have been a top 10 offense in terms of offensive rating since the beginning of February. Even without Kyle Lowry, they still have that pull-up threat from three with Fred VanVleet. He comes off of that screen looking to score and then looking to pass out of it. Miami has always been wary of this, and they still make sure to take that away, as they did with Kemba Walker last year in the playoffs. I expect to see a lot of traps of Fred VanVleet and forcing everybody else to be the playmaker, especially with Kyle Lowry out. This in turn will leave guys like Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, who is always dangerous from the corners, and Chris Boucher open for three. Chris Boucher especially is a guy you need to keep your eye on. He has been shooting 45% this year on 3.5 attempts a game. Miami will have to make sure to limit their open opportunities and keep the defense on a string, which they have been recently, but they'll need to keep that up in order to get past the Raptors. While Toronto's offense may be on the upward trajectory thanks to all these guys hitting their open threes, they are still prone to long droughts. Just last Friday against the Timberwolves, they scored 58 points from the second quarter to the fourth quarter against the Minnesota Timberwolves off a back-to-back. Miami will face them coming off a back-to-back, so they will be hoping to duplicate just that. While it may seem that Miami has a big advantage with Bam Adebayo, the Raptors are really good at taking away your biggest strengths. They muck up Miami's DHOs, probably the best in the league. OG Anunoby is a one-man handoff wrecking crew. Miami will be forced to have Bam Adebayo attack the smaller OG Anunoby, but it will remain to be seen whether Bam will take advantage of that. He might need to sprinkle in a few keepers here and there to really punish them. Toronto will always force you to play their game, and it's up to Miami not to give in. The Raptors are the second most foul-prone team in the league, however. They get as handsy as anyone in the league.
Touch! Don't touch!
The aggressiveness that they play with can be used against them. This one could get ugly, as it usually does between these two teams. In the past Miami-Toronto games, it's been a bloodbath out there. So don't expect anything different from today's matchup. Whose will be stronger, Will Robinson?
Danger! No, Will Robinson! Danger!
And finally, we've come to RSHK Watch. For those in the uninitiated, RSHK stands for Random Scrub Heat Killer. Now, every team's fan base probably has this feeling, but only Miami would have created an acronym for this whole phenomenon. Now, this moniker is reserved for that random guy from the opposing team that seems to go off as if he's downloaded the Game Genie. I'll be here to let you know which team's players are above this moniker and which ones it should be applied to. First, we'll start with Norman Powell. He seems to be the streakiest of the streaky guys on the Raptors. If he's having a good game, more often than not, the Raptors are winning. But he, as well as Chris Boucher, are well above the RSHK threshold. They just are too good, and they have killed every other team in the league. So let's rule them out. Matt Thomas, however, is a player who comes in and does only one thing, and that's shoot, shoot, shoot. He is their Max Strus.
Let it ride!
And given the way that Miami has let guys go off from three this year, seemingly even great shooters like Marcus Morris, it would be no surprise to me if Matt Thomas pretty much went off. You may be asking, well, what about Utah Watanabe? Well, I like him too much to include him here. But if he does go off from three, that may be a problem, especially considering he's a defensive specialist guy and just brings energy. I expect the fans to get very annoyed with him and DeAndre Bembry. Those guys are just energy, energy, and energy. However, I wonder how big of a factor Utah Watanabe will be from beyond the grave, as he was just suplexed to the center of the earth by Anthony Edwards.
Turned over, Anthony Edwards!
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully we'll be making more of these. Leave your comments in the comment section down below and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we'll be bringing you more awesome content.